you can't, certain things you just can't teach.
So there's a difference between actors and movie stars, right? So actors.
Meghan Markle's worst nightmare is coming true. Prince William is reportedly moving to strip her of the Duchess of Sussex title, and she is said to be panicking. Without that title, her entire empire could collapse overnight.
Understand their role and they can deliver their role. And movie stars kind of have a picture of the whole of the.
After 5 years of trashing the monarchy, they were still allowed to keep their titles. But that grace period is ending, and Meghan is scrambling because she knows her brand won't survive this
project.
At that age, you take rejection, personally. Yeah, I guess I did anyway. Yeah. And used it as a healthy chip on my shoulder,
Everything she's built depends on that Duchess label. The moment it's gone, she's no longer selling a luxury lifestyle, she's selling desperation from someone trying to stay relevant.
Motivate myself to continue to work hard and kind of stay locked in. But also it kind of fortified this belief of what's for me is for me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can take my blessings away from me, and I can't take that.
Racial slur was shouted when Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were presenting an award at the BAFTA. BAFTAs air 2 hours.
Connection. She's competing against actual A-listers with real followings and genuine talent. Her celebrity friends won't be able to elevate her when she's just another former actress with a failed marriage to a prince.
After they're filmed, so they had 2 hours to edit that moment or edit that sound, the word, out, and they didn't.
She's now talking about suing to keep a title that was gifted to her by the very institution she spent years attacking. The entitlement is absolutely wild. It isn't hers. It never was. And William is about to make that very clear.
I'm here because of the people that came before me. Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith, and
William doesn't need permission or conversations. One legal document, and it's done. Meghan wakes up one day no longer a duchess, and there's nothing she can do about it. But the title stripping is just the beginning of William's plan. While everyone has been focused on the Duchess drama, Meghan has been doing something even more infuriating behind the scenes.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to celebrate.
William doesn't need permission or conversations. One legal document, and it's done. Meghan wakes up one day no longer a duchess, and there's nothing she can do about it. But the title stripping is just the beginning of William's plan. While everyone has been focused on the Duchess drama, Meghan has been doing something even more infuriating behind the scenes.
Crazy thing about it, this could have been edited out and muted by the British Broadcasting Network. Because for one, the BAFTAs aren't a live event, and for two, they were muting people saying Free Palestine. When Akinola Davis Jr. accepted his award for Outstanding Debut by a British director, he ended his speech by saying Free Palestine, which was muted
4 years later, and she's still at it. The agreement was signed, the terms were clear, and Meghan has been openly violating them ever since. Most people would call that a breach of contract. The palace is calling it something much worse.
By the BBC. So if they wanted to keep things professional, why not mute the slur that has been used to degrade black people for God knows how long? That wouldn't have resolved the issue, but them not doing so shows what side of the coin the BBC are on. Regardless, those of you who are screaming ableism at black people saying that.
What makes this so infuriating is that HR actually means something to people who truly serve. It's earned through duty, not exploited for profit. Meghan turned it into a brand asset while living in Montecito and selling jam. That's not ambition, that's the theft of credibility she never had. The arrogance of assuming no one would call her out on it is about to cost her everything. And William's strategy to remove these titles is absolutely ruthless. Because he's not going after Harry and Meghan directly. That would give them exactly what they want, another chance to play the victim.
John Davison should apologize or extremely tone deaf. Y'all are forcing black people to not care because he's disabled? When in reality, a simple I'm sorry to Michael, Delroy, the audience, and those watching would have calmed this incident.
This is genius. Strip everyone who isn't a working royal in one sweeping reform. Slim down the monarchy. Modernize the institution. And Harry and Meghan are just part of a much bigger policy change. They can't claim they're being singled out when cousins and extended family members are losing titles too.
Richard! Oh, wow! Wow! Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth!
William is building the narrative around who actually works versus who just takes. Princess Anne carries out hundreds of engagements a year without complaint or drama. That's the standard. Everyone else coasting on a title without contributing?
Wow,
they're gone.
Dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
And movie stars kind of have a picture of the whole of the project, right? So Tom Cruise knows everybody's job.
The monarchy only survives if it proves its value. Freeloaders destroy that argument. William is setting a simple rule: contribute or lose the title. This is calculated strategy, not family drama. When the policy applies to everyone equally, Harry and Meghan can't claim they're being unfairly targeted. But there's a problem. William's own father is fighting him on this. Behind palace walls, the dying king and his heir are locked in a full-blown power struggle.
And he knows how to deliver himself to be in the best light for the whole. He handles everything through production.
Charles is thinking about his legacy in terms of months and years. William is thinking in decades. That fundamental difference in perspective is creating an impossible tension between what the father wants emotionally and what the son knows is necessary strategically.
Through editing, through marketing, right? So Michael B. Jordan is a movie star. He understands the whole of it. And you know,
the race card has effectively handcuffed Charles. He's so worried about perception, so terrified of being accused of prejudice, that he's allowed two people to weaponize their positions without consequence. Fear of bad headlines is now dictating royal policy. Sometimes if you have a really
difficult role, you want to just do that. And you know, for Ali, I've turned everything off. Michael Mann handled everything.
William isn't waiting for permission anymore. Charles's declining health has accelerated a transition that was already inevitable. The heir isn't just preparing for the throne, he's